and welcome to Rauta's Outdoor Reviews. Today's band comes from Finland and it's very, well, nature-like. That is, After Forest, a band that sings about green stuffs. Not drugs, but, nature, trees, environment and all that stuff. So let's take a look on their debut album called Act 2 and 3. One might wonder, what is Act 1 about? Well, it's a mini CD, EP demo, or whatever it's officially called, which was called Act 1. Well, a kind of an EP of 20 minutes or something. Now the debut album, which is also a CDR1, is kind of developing from that very same idea. Kind of a groovy, atmospheric metal with melodies, progressiveness and whatnot. This is a self-financed CD. As you can see on the backside of the inlay, there is no label information for the obvious reasons. And here is the booklet, which is made of lyrics and images to cover with the very idea of band being green. Now, like I said, music-wise, this is kind of an atmospheric metal that is combined with very progressive and even experimental ideas. It's not a typical band to box or label, but more of the type of kind that is probably very nice to jam, creating very long tracks, lots of variation, different ideas, and avoiding kind of putting into or under a certain subgenre. But that is also the very problem of this album. It already starts with 12-minute track, which is more than most bands can ever handle, because it's not kind of a riff chorus or bridge, whatever part in the middle type of song. It's kind of avoiding these kind of rock cliches, the very basic ideas of which metal is also founded upon. Now, I don't have anything against I mean nothing against long tracks as such, but more often than not they are certainly or sure to fail, because most bands cannot exactly cover this kind of lengthiness, and that's exactly where After Forests basically, well, falls into. The basic problem with long tracks is that they don't have the lasting interest to cover all that length. Now, like I said, that wouldn't be a problem if only those riffs were good, if only, the compositions were interesting enough. But even, progressive rock legends have hard time creating long tracks that, just go from one point to another. And that is even more the case with a band that is not so experienced and has way too much fun jamming and going directionless, rather than having, kind of a nice way to, create the whole song. I mean the structure. Now, the length is not obviously the only problem, nor is the riffs, but also the vocalist. He's one of the main guys in, doing guitars with the, album, and I'm very unfortunate to say that one of the leading problems on this album is that this guy doing his clean vocals is clearly singing on the verge of failure. Uh, every song is mostly comprised of, these clean vocals rather than growling parts. And they are kind of hard to listen to because it seems like this guy is not skilled enough for the vocal ideas he's having with this album. And that makes almost my ears hurt. And on top of that, there is also a problem with the production. It's kind of a organic and breathing, kind of a dynamic, but it's also a compromise between kind of a metal sound and easygoing rock sound. And that kind of is a bummer. I mean, this is something that should probably have decided whether to go heavy, whether to go metallic, kind of having more razor sharpness there, or just have it kind of a easy going, kind of a progressive rock. And now it's neither at least in a good way. That and his crawling part plus clean vocals and lengthy recording make this album really, really hard to approach, well, at least to enjoy. I mean, there's no clear failure, like one point that is totally annoying or anything, but the sum of all these different ideas and ingredients on this album makes this one, well, rather less than mediocre in a way. I mean, I kind of tried and I tried, and I almost started getting annoyed while listening to this album, almost with the first go. And actually, it didn't get any better with the runs or spins after that. So, Act 2 and 3 by After Forest clearly aim for people who are just about groovy, atmospheric, echo, green, progressive rock metal hybrid, and not for anybody else. Well, that's my judgment on this one anyway. As always, should you have any comments, opinions, disagreements, up, downside, thumbs, or whatever, leave your comments on the box below and let's continue from that. See you soon with more Rauta reviews. Now it's time to say bye.